For quite some time now, I've had this quiet worry that starting university would mean the end of traveling, the end of exploring the world. I was so afraid I would get stuck in one place for the rest of my life. It took me some time and a few conversations with my loved ones to realize that it was never life circumstances that made those trips happen. It was me. And regardless of which point in life I was in, I was always the only one responsible for how my life story would be written. And to continue to write this wonderful story, I just had to start another adventure. So on the same day as my final exam finished, I packed my bags and left for a 2-week adventure in Sri Lanka. With everything happening so suddenly, my mind was in absolute chaos, and I started to worry that this trip would also end up being like that. But all it took to prove me wrong was a 6 a.m. train ride right after my arrival. My very first moments in Sri Lanka were spent watching this land and its people at the break of dawn while the world was still waking up. Standing by that open train door, passing children playing in the fields, witnessing how the very first rays of sunshine touched the tops of the palm trees took my breath away. I swear I could feel my heart physically aching from the sight, from all the gratitude I felt to be able to witness something so simple and yet so beautiful. In that moment, my mind calmed down. I felt so alive, present, and deeply happy. It was almost as if the universe was telling me that this would be one of the most beautiful adventures I've ever had. Visiting Sri Lanka's famous places was really wonderful, but that wasn't what made this trip so special. It was falling asleep to the song of birds, the gentle embrace of lakes and the ocean while swimming, the sweetness of coconuts and mangoes, endless shades of green in nature, and so much more. Everything was so full of life. Kids playing in the rice fields, locals washing clothes outside, people waving to the passing trains. Life here was present in each ray of sunshine, every leaf dancing in the wind. That's what made me fall in love with this beautiful corner of the world. And yet, it was Sri Lankan people who made this adventure as precious as it was. From the very first moment here, I was taken care of not only as a tourist, but also as a daughter, as a friend. Even after parting ways, I would still receive calls and messages asking if I was safe and sound. With no hesitation, they would invite for dinner and open their homes, showing every corner and telling every story. These people would go out of their way to help, whether it was choosing a sari or finding transportation. I've met countless kind souls over the past 2 years of traveling, but I've never been to a country whose people were so genuinely kind. Even just walking down the street, all it took was one smile to receive the most precious smiles from both kids and elders. Even people who seemed serious and strict at first would offer the most heartwarming smiles, followed by wholesome conversations, pictures together, and laughter. Not only did I feel safe, I felt cared for. I learned so much about Sri Lanka through their voices, the good and the bad, the history and the present. I learned how strong these people are, how they endure hardships and grow together. Of course, it wasn't only the locals who made this trip wonderful. It was also the people I met while staying in hostels. Despite traveling for quite some time now, it was my very first time staying in a hostel. At first, I was a bit nervous, but meeting all these people ended up becoming another beautiful memory of this trip. Hearing their stories about their experiences, lives, and travels was truly special. And without realizing it, I grew so fond of all of this, wishing time would slow down just a little. But time never stops. So with all these feelings and thoughts, I headed back home to continue my life with new perspectives and memories. Before starting this adventure, someone told me, quote unquote, to keep my heart open and my eyes shining, and then everything would turn into magic. So I did, and it really did turn into magic. And with that thought in my heart, I will continue to discover myself while discovering the world.